had a really great training block. It was my first time experiencing training for an event like this. I did complete a 40-mile ultra marathon last year, but the way I approached that training was totally different, and you know, it proved on the day that I just wasn't prepared. Whereas this time around, I felt like I really dissected the plan sensibly and thought carefully week on week about what I needed to do to improve and what I needed to do to prepare my body for what was ahead of me. And having the opportunity to run on the North Downs Way itself was so beneficial. Being that it's relatively close, I was able to experience the first half at least of that North Downs Way quite often. It was the latter half that, due to travel restrictions and things of that nature, it was more difficult to get access to. I certainly felt that with race day approaching, I'd done all I could to prepare myself for what was ahead of me, in terms of things like time on legs, in terms of the distance I was going to be travelling. There's an element of wait for the day and experience what you experience. It's one of those things where you know there's only so much you can realistically do, and it's all working towards that final moment, that start line. And for me, I wanted to make sure that when I got to the start line, I was in the best, not only physical shape, but more so mental. I wanted to make sure that I was really in tune with what I knew I was going to do, with the gear that I had chosen, the best I could prepare myself for the course and what it had in store for me, I suppose. So all in all, I would say that my training, it's one of those things where you can always probably look back and say, could I have done more? Could I have gone higher with elevation? Could I have gone further with distance? Could I have spent more time on legs? I think that's always going to be in question. But for me, the main objective was to get to the start line fit and healthy, and I achieved that objective. And so from that point of view, I can never be disappointed with the training plan. It allowed me to get to the race and put a foot on that start line. So here, race registration. Just going to pick up my little tracker up here. There's race registration. Weather's looking pretty good. I'll catch up with you in a moment when I've collected everything. Leaving race HQ, little tracker on there. Really nice staff. It just gives you that extra boost. I've got that real kind of nervous excitement, but not really nerves, in fact, it's just ready to go. Looking around, the ground looks a little bit wet, so I'm pleased I wore my Gore-Tex shoes. So that was my last minute kind of change. It was either Gore-Tex or it was going to be my newer shoes, but I've got to make sure I keep my feet in good condition, so Gore-Tex it is. And yeah, so weather about 8-9 degrees. It was due to be raining, but stopping within the next kind of 45 minutes. As you can see here, no rain at the moment. So I'm going to catch up with you periodically, and yeah, I just need to spend the first, I think, 20 minutes or so just getting into my rhythm, getting into a flow, and then I'll pick up the camera and do some chatting. Just want to make sure I can get fully focused on what's ahead. 50 miles. What am I doing? First hill of the day. You've seen this one before. Just trying to get rid of that kind of nervous excitement at the start. First kilometre nice and slow, second a bit quicker, but I'm allowing myself that just moment to shake it off and get into this thing. So it's really exciting. I just got to try and move my mind towards the fact that I'm going all day and not being picked up at the end of a long run as such. So just got to think about keeping energy in a good place. Here we go, 5k, about a 6:20 average pace. A little quicker than I'd like, but feel comfortable. I'm just getting still, just finding that rhythm, trying to settle in. It's quite muddy and lots of puddles underfoot, so I used to have worn the Gore-Tex shoes, and now we're just approaching the farm section. Beautiful part of the course here. That's what it's all about, just looking around you, and I'm just doing my best actually to remind myself I'm here to have fun, I'm here to enjoy the environment and try not to get wrapped up in the numbers. At the end of the day, the finish is the finish. I need to keep moving forward now. Heading towards A Station 1. I'm going to run through that, don't need it, I've got enough on me. I will show you where it is though, and just walking this hill now. I have run it in the past, but actually the gains are minimal. I'd rather save my legs for later. Legs are feeling good, by the way, really good. Exactly what I want for race day. Hopefully, gonna hold out. 10k with a 6:30 average, approaching A Station 1, and yeah, still feeling good. And it's nice to see a great kind of community of runners out here, everyone saying hello, everyone saying good morning, kind of wishing each other well. There's some rapid people that's for sure, but I'm just pleased to be part of the team doing it, chasing down that 50, that finish line goal. So the first part had gone really well, and I was looking forward to heading towards aid station number 2. Still part of the route that I know, I'm very familiar with, so it was just now making that adjustment between running it as a training run and running it as part of a 50-mile ultra. So with that in mind, I just made sure that as I was starting to approach some of those areas that would be more technical and would be more challenging in terms of the ascent, I just made sure to walk even more than I would normally and get through that section and to aid station number 2 unscathed and ready to progress. Just gone past aid station number 1, just back there, looked pretty well stocked, so onwards now, aid station number 2, and that's where I'll be refueling. We've got a couple of K at this point of pretty fast trails. I'm trying not to let my legs open up too much, don't want to go too fast, but equally I'm just settling into something that's comfortable. Shortly we'll be approaching another hill, and then we're making our way towards Guildford. Then we've got the hilly climbs of St Martha's and Union's Corner, so I'm just saving myself for that. I'm really enjoying actually being methodical with my walking every ascent, and yeah, this is a long day at the office, and you know, making a 30-second gain now by running too quick could actually cost me 4 or 5 minutes in the end. Oh, muddy. 13k, have some breakfast, Cliff nut butter bar, just making sure I'm chewing a lot easier to digest, and yeah, then we're going to run all the way to Shelford Park and prep ourselves for the climbs ahead. Oh, it's certainly warm. It's only about 10 degrees, but wow, respect to those people that ran it when it was like 28. Whew. Nice conditions for running, really nice. Just keep telling myself, walk every climb, keep that energy on board. There it is, those beautiful fields of gold. I just think back to that first training run I did when I came past here, and it was nothing, it was just a more or less empty field. And now, picturesque. And there, the Towers of Doom over there. I reflect back on my 50k ultramarathon I did in training. Oh, good times. Why the long face?
Here he comes! It's Mr. Dan Runs! Go on, mate!
Domino's dead!
Well done, Dan.
Finish, here we go.
Looking strong. Well done, matey. Good luck. Keep smiling.
17k and going over the bridge in Guildford. Okay, into Chantry Woods now. Let the climbing begin. I've been here many times in training. I know this part well, so also know when to just take it easy and relax. This is a part not to overdo it. Through the sandy section, still a bit wet underfoot as you can see. So I'm pleased I've got the Gore-Tex shoes, and just looking forward to reaching aid station number 2, taking stock. At that point we'll be kind of a quarter way through, and I can start to reflect on how to approach the next portion. I'm just doing it in quarters today, 20k at a time, and yeah, I'm feeling really positive, feeling really good, just reminding myself it's my own race. Don't worry about people overtaking me or all that kind of stuff. A mental shift is definitely needed today, because these parts of the course on a training run I might jog up, but today I have to just keep saying to myself, walk it. Nothing to gain by jogging at this point. 350 metres of ascent, 20 kilometres in, and yeah, just taking a breather, enjoying what's around me, not forgetting this, because it's quite easy to get wrapped up right now in race mode, and I need to just keep reminding myself why I'm here, to explore local trails, obviously finish, but I don't want to just run past this and have this race to just be a complete blur, because all I was doing is focusing on moving forwards. Just gone past St Martha's, just running down now towards the Newlands Corner element of the course. Nice downhill here, so feeling good, keeping things tidy, and just reminding myself to keep you all informed on my progress. This single track is a bit of a nightmare because it's a public path and people coming the other way, so I just have to pause. Nice chance to catch your breath actually, and just gets you refocused and out of that habit of setting off too fast. Whew. In my training videos I wasn't sure whether I could go down the middle of this hill or up here. Turns out this is the official route anyway up here, so anyone going through the middle, slight advantage, don't know, probably not, but just keeping the spirits high. Hey, session 2 coming up. I'll refuel there and then we'll set about knocking out the next 20k together. Having hit roughly half marathon distance or thereabouts, refueled, I was heading then towards the next big climb of the day, which was going to be Box Hill and the stepping stones. The route at this point is relatively flat, a little bit undulating at times, but it's a pretty quick section. I don't find it that inspiring. I just find it a little bit monotonous, and it doesn't really give you the kind of fuel you need to just keep pushing forward. So having run it a few times, I was ready to give it my best, but you will see that during this section the course was starting to take its toll on me, and it was having an effect on my body far earlier than I anticipated, which was a real shame, but you should see it unfold now. Out of aid station 2, just topped up with some tailwind, really well stocked tables, extra water in here, so now let's rock and roll 20k towards Box Hill. Whew. A shout out to this runner, sorry I didn't catch your name, he's watched some of my videos, so that's nice. Thank you for saying hi, and hopefully we'll catch up later on in the race. I find this part from Newlands Corner quite monotonous and therefore quite difficult because it's pretty hard underfoot. It's flat, but the environment never really seems to change, and it's just hard to be sort of excited about this part. At least when Box Hill comes, yeah, it's a climb and it's hard, but you kind of feel like it's, I don't know, something to overcome. This is just constant monotony. Whilst my body's accepting it, I took an opportunity to just walk and have some sort of potato chips I made, really salty. So yeah, I thought that was quite a sensible idea whilst I'm able to enjoy anything but a gel. So yeah, about to get started in the moment, but I'm just taking stock, calming down, and yeah, not worrying too much about the speed at this point. Just at Blatchford Down, almost at 30k. Just having a Univet gel now. Just keep them topped up. As soon as I start to feel, less than perfect, I'm just taking on board some gels. I mean, hopefully that strategy will pay off. But yeah, I think it's important to keep topped up, especially for that first part. You need to get to 30 miles feeling ready to rock and roll for the last 20. 20 miles in 3 hours 43. The last few k I've just been walking a bit because the ground's so muddy. I felt myself slipping and sliding, and it started to sort of hurt my right knee a bit. Nothing dramatic, just enough where I thought, oh, no thanks. So I've just been quite tentative through those sections, walking, finding the dry spots if I can, and just making my way through. So now another ascent. 35k, and I'm enjoying a bit of a walk run actually. Just keeping me sort of on time. It's not allowing me to blow up, it's just allowing me to really kind of be methodical. It's what it's all about. It's just about kind of being really sensible with this. It's still very early days, not a halfway point yet. You can start getting a bit excitable towards the end perhaps, but right now let's just get there, and yeah, then we can reflect halfway point. Almost 36k, not very happy because I started getting that sensation I'm about to get cramp on my leg. I've never ever had it since I started running, so it's something that I hadn't really prepared for trying to overcome. Don't know what it is. I'm taking some more salt on board. I've never had it before, so it's kind of like that pulsating of the muscle that you just know it's going to cramp, but so far it hasn't. Just trying to stop to stretch it, and hopefully that will make it sort of dissipate. Okay, damn these. It's normally part of the course where you can just run downhill, but I'm looking after my legs, so lovely to look out at this beautiful landscape. Next stop though, Box Hill. At the Box Hill aid station, I chose not to take any additional hydration or nutrition on board because I had everything that I needed, and I was reminded it was 6 miles to the next aid station. At the time I didn't really kind of put that into perspective in my own mind, because the hills that I would be climbing before getting to the next aid station really were an energy sapper and took a lot out of me, and things start to move in a downward spiral, certainly kind of mentally, my state of mind, and in terms of how my body's feeling, and it starts to fall apart. So we get to that kind of midpoint of the run where it's a bit of a game changer, and I've got to either dig deep, focus and keep moving forward, or allow it to just take over and spoil the rest of the run. But you'll see the way that things start to move and my kind of emotional responses to how I'm feeling at the time as well. Just past the Box Hill aid station, about 39k. It's just inside there in the, I think it's the rugby ground or sport ground. So I'm just going to go down this road now, under the pass, and then over to Box Hill. And it started to rain. So we aren't permitted to use the stepping stones at Box Hill, so we have to go across the bridge, kind of around. So I hope they take us 200 metres off at the end. I doubt they will. Just gone over 40k, so I hate this bit. This is going to be difficult. I'm trying to stay positive, but just know it's horrible. So my tip for Box Hill steps is don't stop. There's a bench about halfway up. Don't fall for that trap. Every step you take is one close to the top and one away from the bottom. You just got to keep pushing, and now I'm just at this last section here. My lap pace like 25 minutes, so that gives you some sort of idea of just how tough this is, certainly for me. And there's the view. So I'm 40.63 distance in, 4 hours 54, so let's call it halfway in 5 hours. Let's see if I can just maintain something close to that, and that'll just set me up nicely for a good finish. Marathon time, 5 hours 10. Now walking up Collie Hill, another tough ascent, and my right knee is not enjoying the descent of steps specifically, so there's a few steps back there. Glad there was something to hold on to. It's not unbearable pain, just it doesn't like the impact going down, so I've just got to be mindful of that. Just bumped into another subscriber from the channel just ahead. Always nice when people just give you a little hello. I'm going to be transparent with you, but I don't really want to focus on it, so I'm just literally going to say it at the once. My knee downhill, really not enjoying it. Just the right knee. Everything else about my legs and feet are great. It's so frustrating, so I've got to be just really careful with this. If I can get to 50k, 30 miles, we can then adopt a bit more of a walk run strategy, and yeah, just annoying really, but got to be transparent. The mud is evil. Try to dodge a puddle, just feet go straight in it. I did have a kilometre or so back there of good running, gives you a bit more confidence, but then we're back into another hill, so This 10k between 40 and 50 has been dreadfully slow. It's just sort of like seeing that thing in sight and wanting to get there, but there's a lot between me right now and 50k up there, so I'm just going to keep ploughing on. Another hill, and just taking me apart these hills. It's been a really tough 5-10k or so since really reaching Box Hill. Lots of ascent, and it's just making me kind of crumble a bit. Mentally still pushing onwards, but God, it's frustrating because you don't feel like you're making too much forward progress. I keep sort of looking at my watch, which I'm going to stop doing, but just think, what? Another like 200 meters? Are you kidding me? Feels like it's another 2k. 6 hours 34 at 50k, and I'm in my head, and it's really frustrating because I just need to snap out of it now. I've got the same time again to do 20 miles before the cut-off, which is plenty of time, and I need to just sort myself out. I need to kind of just shake it off. Beautiful views that I'm missing, I'm seeing them, but I'm not seeing them, if that makes sense. I need to just snap out of this thing. So the next aid station I think is going to be a good boost, just to go, right, get yourself sorted, start making an effort now, and bring this thing home. So I'll catch up with you after the aid station, and we're going to do this. Just had a really good chat with Kelly up there. She followed me on Strava, and it's a real boost when people sort of just drop and say hey, and obviously I've got social media, and I don't always anticipate people are really going to make the choice to stop and say hello. We'll come to the aid station. It seems to be getting moved further and further away the closer I get to it. But look, here's what I've sort of come to realise after that little chat with Kelly there. So again, like I say, a big boost. I could walk the rest, I think, and still come home in time. So that means if I adopt a kind of a walk-run strategy, that should also see me home in a slightly quicker time. But as I've said from the start, I just want to finish. I don't really care about anything else. I want to finish 13 hours. So come on, aid station, treat me. In reaching Reigate, the next aid station, and roughly 30 miles, I knew that after this point I didn't know the course, and so what was in store for me, I just had absolutely no idea. And had I known what was ahead of me, I don't know whether it would have affected me positively or negatively at that point. But had a nice boost coming at the aid station, and I just wanted to then take it easy. I'd made calculations that I could walk the rest and still make it in the cut-off time, but actually in hindsight that wasn't really true, because I hadn't taken into account the severe number of hills that were ahead of me. And I say severe because it was just, for me, pretty breathtaking how many there were, and the ascent. And as your legs start to deteriorate over the miles, even the smaller hills felt like they were mountains, but more than that, the descent of steps was just crushing for me, and it was really becoming quite a painful experience to do that, and therefore it was then just eating into the time that I had available. Well, that was a disaster. I forgot to put the lid on my tailwind bottle, and it all poured down me, so that looks good, doesn't it? People think I've been crying at the aid station. Right, should we do this? Come on now. Just a nice little second wind there. Sadly it was downhill and my knee is not liking that, but staying positive. Look at this, Millennium Stones. It's like a little mini Stonehenge. So, where are we going now? Look at this. Nothing to hold on to either side because it's barbed wire. Slipping and sliding. Okay, 55k, this is very nice. Just taking it easy now. Stomach feels a bit tight. I tried to take on board some solid food. I thought that might be a sensible idea, but I think it's just kind of sitting a bit heavy. So, that is what it is, can't do much about that. 54k, so 55 was it? Anyway, what we've got to go? 25 to go? Good feeling. And a wonderful game of cricket. Played out on a Saturday afternoon. If it comes over this way, I'll try and catch it. Can't guarantee I'm going to run for it though. Just met a guy who knows about my channel through Chris's channel, Hero Running. So that was nice, just yeah, again, catch a few words with somebody new. Social media can be a really good place, obviously, can also be an awful place, but yeah.
Well done, Dan.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so I did speak to him and I said, look, this next part of the course is totally new to me. What's it all about? He said it's one big, steep, short, nasty hill, and then if I can do that, apparently the finish line is mine, so to speak. So it's all right. Like I say, I just want to. Oh, nice train track. I really just want to enjoy this next part, and if that means I sacrifice a bit of time on the finish, then you know, just got to look after myself. Still got a little way to go, just over 20k, so I don't want to do any damage. It's got to be sensible. There we go. We're here with a man, two men in fact.
Yeah.
Working hard, enjoying the terrain, enjoying the landscape. So,
And I've had my head in the water, Ben.
head in the water for Benjamin,
Yeah.
based on his challenge.
Yeah.
So
I didn't swim.
about 14 miles to go, and that feels good. I can deal with that.
15.
50, can't deal with that. Right, come on then, let's go. So from what I've been told, there are more hills, but we kind of go up and then we sort of stay up higher and then continue to kind of do the up and down. So, oh, here's that really cool field that I see in people's videos. Wow, again, that's a great boost. So pleased it's not blistering hot. Look at that, picture perfect. $60k in 8 hours 10 minutes. So, you know, we're getting into the last 20 now ish. I'm sure it's 0.1 or something extra at the end, but yeah, the legs are tired. The running is not great, not speedy, put it that way. So I'm just walking, jogging, doing what I can. It's not without trying, because I kind of decided that let's go, let's push, but I'm just a bit exhausted at this point. But it's okay though. Got time, we're 5 hours to 20k, so just got to keep now kind of marching on, try and get a good pace going, run when I can, and just be sensible. Just want to get into a bit of rhythm for a run. More hills, rolling hills. So frustrating really, because I just want to sort of keep a nice balance of walk, run, but at the moment it's predominantly walking because I can't run uphill. What are we on now? 62k, 8 hours 24. The next aid station is up ahead. I don't want to spend too much time here, but I feel like I need to just top up on water just to make sure I can get to the finish, just in case, you know. So I'm going to do that now, and then we're almost at 40 mile mark. The next section was really hard, and as I look back on my filming of this and I see the expression on my face, I can start to recall those moments when I just know it was so tough, and my knee was giving me a significant amount of pain, and it was just stopping me from enjoying the running because I simply couldn't do it. And that in itself becomes frustrating, because you know that aside, if it wasn't for the knee, I could have really made some great progress. And it's disappointing. It's one of those things, you know, not every day can be your day, but at this point in the race, my legs were feeling fantastic. No issues with feet, no issues with legs, and it was just simply the knee holding me back and just stopping me from doing what I was hoping that I could do quite confidently. Making the next aid station was the goal at this point, and was the aim, and it was the thing that was driving me forward. But I was starting to fall apart. I was starting to really feel like this was becoming a very, very long day out, and I did start to question whether I could make it. in the time or not.
Tailwind refill, water refill, mainly just because it's getting a bit warmer. Might want to put a little bit in my hat, cool myself down. Right, I'm going to try and run what I can. Just keeps going uphill again. Little celebration moment. 40 miles done. I think I've got a little PB on last year's ultra of about 10 or 15 minutes. So different course, of course, but oh, can't run the ups, can't run the downs, such a shame. So I'm running what I can on the flat. Someone else who's seen me on YouTube just said hi. I'm really trying here. I know every clip, is me walking. I'm really trying, really digging deep at this. I'm not going to run into pain in my knee, it's just not worth it. I'm not going to run through that. So if I can manage it just by walking downhill, just like there, then I will. I've got a reverse box hill steps here. I'm having to go down sideways. So if I can do, I've wrapped a arm sleeve around my knee there, just to ease or aid support for the kneecap. Who wouldn't love to run this downhill? I'm like an old lady right now. Oxted Downs. What is this hill? It's just straight up. $70k. This is a brutal hill. Just keeps on going. Legs are well and truly done in. It's almost 10 hours and I've got 10, 11, 12k to go, something like that. Because I'm not sure if it's exactly 80 kilometres or not, but you know, just want to be there now. So I've reached the final aid station and I'm really pumped about this last section, and I know that I'm now on the countdown to the finish. And as I'm showing across the road, I say to one of the volunteers, how far to go? Now in my head I'm thinking, well, probably about 8 or 9k. I've already passed 70k. She says, all about 12 kilometres. I shouldn't have asked, because then my heart sank, and she said, don't worry, make use of the tarmac up ahead because it's pretty flat. It wasn't, and then it continued to go sort of back to fields and things. But it was also in this moment I thought, okay, this is it now. Dig deep, really just put that final bit of effort in, because the finish line's in sight, and whatever you do from now until the end is going to make a difference to the time. It's going to make a difference to how you feel going home. So I started pushing and it was going well, and I did a really good pace, and then I followed 2 runners and we went off course, and we were called back by another runner who actually did speak to me at the end. So thank you. I'm sorry I don't know your name, but without that I could well have been running off course for a little while. It was just it was a turn in the woods that wasn't as obvious as it perhaps could have been, and not knowing the course I didn't realise it went up there. But this was it then. This was that final moment, and I was just trying my best to keep it together physically, mentally, and I was just doing everything I could to stay on track and get myself to the finish line in one piece. But the miles dragged because the hills just kept on coming. Come on. It hurts, but come on. 71k. Let's do this. Come on, Dan. Dig deep. Oh. Just took a wrong turn. Luckily, the guys called us back. Damn it. Okay, I'm back on track. The watch says 10.75 remaining. I'm following a course, and it says ETA 6:08 PM. So bear in mind, I started like 6:15. That'll take me just under 12 hours. To be honest with you, I just want to get there under 13. I don't care if it's 12:59 at this point. It's really difficult to make a judgment about pace, because whilst I'm thinking to myself, that's okay, maintain a nice pace to the end, then you get a hill and you're kind of like 8, 9, 10 minute per kilometre turns into 15, 16, and you're back to having no idea what's going on again. Really sorry, I'm not sharing any of this with you. I'm just trying to focus now. Kind of found like a third wind, just running, and just
trying to visualise that finish line. So that's why I've been a bit quiet. Oh, it is beautiful out here, honestly. Fantastically incredible landscape. I'm just looking the wrong way. Well, this has stopped me in my tracks, although look. Beautiful rainbow for my efforts. Come on. We're nearly at the end, and look at this. It's been absolutely brutal. It's a shame about my knee because my legs actually, I'm not feeling it in my calves or my ankles or anything like that. But I've not been able to maintain a pace for quite a while. This last block has been pretty good actually, but the hills, I mean, we literally just walked up this hill here, just over there. It's too much, too much. So I just want to cruise it to the end now. I've basically got 2 hours and 5 minutes to do. My watch says 76.5 kilometers. I'm told it's 81. Some people say 83. So 2 hours to do, let's say 5k or so. Come on. Another cow encounter. Another encounter. Thankfully, they're far enough away. I don't think I want to open them. Almost 79k on the watch, but the good news is I'm going to do 50 miles in under 12 hours based on my watch, but I can't even see any sort of sign of the finish being close. No indication of distance away, so I'm just, I don't know, I'm utterly wrecked. I've got nothing, absolutely nothing, so I'm just one foot in front of the other. You join me as my watch ticks over. There it is, 80k, 50 miles in 11 hours 32. So I know it's not chip time, but that's for me. Oh. That for me is a that for me is a really, really big achievement. Attempting to run this last part. Look at the mud. What is going on? What a way to complete this distance. Oh my. So let's say I'm kind of at nearly 81k now, but no end in sight. So just slipping and sliding around this mud right now. Oh, I thought I was going to get in the car with some clean shoes on. That'll go down well. I look back on this next piece of footage with so much emotion. I was really, really on the edge at this point, and whilst I knew the finish line was close, it just felt like forever, and it felt like I was going backwards at points. I made my phone calls home to family. I was becoming frustrated. I was just becoming, annoyed. All the things that really don't make much sense right now, but at the time I just thought, I've done this. I've done the distance. Just give me my medal. So yeah, what you're about to see is that real last push to the end to claim what I'd worked so hard for on the day. I see the finish line. We just go around this field. I've got 6 minutes, I think, to try and do this in under 12 hours. Again, I think I won't know until the chips, the results are there, but I'm in pain. Come on, come on.
It's been so hard. Turn left to finish. Turn left to finish. Is it near?
Yeah. Where that guy is? Well, there's a guy.
All right. Come on. Come on.
Right, fella, let me get your tracker.
Right, there's the finish. Vegan hot dog, Pepsi. I cried. That was really hard, really hard. But hopefully, if I check correctly, I did it under 12 hours. So we'll see. Right. So there it is, the conclusion of my first 50-mile event. Here's a medal and t-shirt, and it just was just so amazing to be able to cross that finish line after giving everything I had. I got very emotional. It became really overwhelming, but to get my hands on this was just the most kind of out of body experience feeling in some respects, because whilst I visualized myself going over the finish line so many times, I hadn't really got that moment in my head where I would be able to hold on to this medal, and towards the end there were definitely times when I felt like it might not happen. So there it is, my first experience of an ultra of that distance, and coming in just under 12 hours as well. So I was absolutely thrilled with that, and that's why you saw me pushing so hard towards the end, because I just wanted to, if I'm going to do it and there's that hour cut off of 13, I knew I'd already done that part. Would I be happy coming home in the evening knowing that if I just pushed a bit harder I could have gotten under 12? And that's why I had to just leave nothing out there, and I'm paying the price for that today. But the journey's been incredible. The journey's been amazing, and hopefully it inspires you, that you can go and do anything that you put your mind to. And I'm just an amateur runner. This is not my job. I'm not endorsed. I'm not sponsored. I'm not an ambassador for anything. I'm simply just somebody who had a dream, had a goal, worked hard, and the results came in the end. And huge thank you to the people that have supported me throughout this journey on social media, in person. Special thanks to Ben, to Chris, and to Chris for the training runs, and of course to my family who have supported me in allowing me to just go out and spend countless hours doing these training runs. So with that said and done, thank you. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.